I heard the Kyoto monks, and I go, that's the sound. Same sound. And I've heard you discuss the sound before.
Well, even in the pharmacology textbooks, the yawning gets in for psilocybin. It makes you yawn, they say, and it certainly does make you yawn. The tearing, it also makes you tear. It makes your nose run a little bit about at the 40-minute mark. The tearing I associate with the actual moments when the visions are occurring. It seems as though your eyes produce a lot of water. And the tone is, pretty basic to the presentation of these things. The way it works for me usually is I take it on an empty stomach in silent darkness, and at about the hour and 10-minute mark there's visual streaming, nothing much before. I mean, running nose, restlessness, need to go to the bathroom. One of the things you don't want to do is once it begins, I think it's very important to stay still. And you will get into loops where it would be better to be downstairs. It would be better to be on the other side of the room. It would be better. This is the small, tinny voice of true madness trying to push you off your point, and you just say, no, it wouldn't be better downstairs, and it wouldn't be better across the room, and it's better right here. And then at an hour and 20 minutes you get visual streaming, which are these, I've also noticed they occur after orgasm. They're like purple after image, kind of amorphous jelly bean shaped lights that are passing by. Not very interesting, but they indicate the onset of something is happening. The synapse is coming to the potential for the thing. And then I usually smoke cannabis to sort of push it over the edge. And at a certain point I know that if I now will take a huge hit of cannabis, the whole thing will just come apart over moments. And then it does, and it usually is, you sort of see it coming. Like a sandstorm or something. I mean, it's 10 miles high and 100 miles wide, and it just rolls toward you, and there's nowhere to run. And I usually just have a few moments to lie down, is what I basically do. That seems a good strategy at that point. A plan. I'll lie down. So then I do that, and that sort of helps a little, and it just hits. And you would swear that, everybody from Vancouver to San Diego just hurled themselves underneath their desk, because it's like an asteroid striking the Earth or something. I mean, everything gives way. You have these images of, first there's light, then there's heat, then the instruments which record light and heat themselves disintegrate and vaporize and begin to move outward. And there's just, a linguistic zero zone where, language will not operate. It's like ground zero. And then this goes on for a long, long time, and the viewpoint keeps telescoping back until finally the viewpoint is outside the blast zone. And then you can begin an inward description of it. Say, it's like this, it's like that, it's telling me this, it's telling me that. Other times it's this Irish elfin band thing, where they come literally tiptoeing through the tulips, and you hear it far off, like the tinkling of bells. And then it just gets louder and louder and nearer, and then you see it, and then it's around you, and it's, like that's, it's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon directed by Tristan Tzara or something like that. I mean, it's quite zany, unpredictable. The thing that always impressed me about psychedelics was the way in which it could convince you that you could never think of this, and that was the stamp of authenticity, the fact that it was moving faster than your own imagination, astonishing you, making you laugh, frightening you, leading you on, teasing you, It's very strange. I mean, there's nothing else like it. It's like, the Arabs used to say of the city of Isfahan in Iran in the 10th century that it was half the world because of its vaulted domes and minarets. That if you hadn't seen Isfahan, half the world lay before you. Well, it's literally true of psychedelics. I mean, half at least of the world lies over yonder in these strange dimensions. And they're not inaccessible, they're very accessible. You don't have to spend 20 years around the ashram. And yet, my goodness, we maintain decorum around them and don't break protocol and behave ourselves in the presence of it. I mean, even those of us who are supposed experts or accounted great explorers of it spend 9 times as much time talking about it as doing it, you may be sure. So, it's just a kind of a cultural blind spot.